Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another tutorial video on how to solo mid. Today we will be looking at a hero that is very common and very popular. Uh, if not the most common hero and most popular hero in Dota, probably one of the top few heroes because of Shadow Fiend's uh, ability to burst down enemy heroes, and also because Shadow Fiend just looks so badass, like a boss. So this hero is actually very popular among a lot of players simply because he's a good looking hero, he has burst damage, he can kill people very easily. So who doesn't like to play this hero well, right? But today we will be looking at a very high level pub game. If you're not convinced, let me just filter out the game for you. Skill level very high, player name youtube.com/Dota. So let's look for a Shadow Fiend game that is played by me. So here it is. Shadow Fiend, Bad Rider, Warlock, etc. So it's the same lineup. So anyways, this is a very high level pub Southeast Asian game, but that's not very relevant. What I was trying to prove is that this is actually a very legit very high level game. So look forward to a lot of counter wardings, a lot of Chinese positioning, a lot of safe plays, but we do see a couple of mistakes being made from either team from time to time. So those are the things that you want to look out for. And also, as this is a guide, I'll talk about the skill build and item choices for quite a bit, but keep in mind that I can't just talk about it as a guide for the full length of the video, simply because I feel that a guide must have several elements of analysis in order for it to be effective. So yeah, that will be pretty much it. And let me just start with the skill build. Obviously you want to go for the Necro Mastery at level 1 because you want to get your souls. Level 1 of Shadow Ray is not going to do anything for you because the damage is very insignificant. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So just skill between Necro Mastery and Shadow Rays. Skill Necro Mastery and Shadow Rays after you have leveled up all the way until level 8. And then you want to get one in Requiem of Souls, get one into Presence of the Dark Lord, get the ultimate when you can from level 9 onwards, and then get Presence of the Dark Lord and then stats. Another thing that I want to point out is that some players do just want to skill one level into Presence of the Dark Lord and then go into stats. I guess that's kind of okay, but generally you want to do that when you have bought phase boots for your Shadow Fiend and you have a lack of stats to work with, but that's a little bit more uncommon. So, which by the way, in old school Dota, Yamate kind of favors that build. So anyway, that's enough of skill build for now. That's very standard build. You don't want to switch into other skill builds. You could kind of follow the skill build that I use later on in the video. Very standard. So let's talk about the item choice that I made here. Went for 4 branches, 1 circlet, double tangles. I just want to get the most out of the stats that I can because I know that I'll be facing a very ridiculously farming intensive hero that could outlast hit me, otherwise known as Bloodseeker. So I just want to get the most stats I can out of here. So which is why I went for this build. So anyway, mid game extension and late game extension items, you could tell that you want to go for the Shadow Blade as a core item for the first item, simply because Shadow Blade in this version is very good because Shadow Blade could allow you to go for solo roaming and solo gankings and also split pushing. But later on in the video, we'll see some of the flaws of getting a Shadow Blade as a first item. Then after getting your Shadow Blade, you want to situationally go for the Mask of Madness, which is a very burst heavy build, and Otherwise, you want to go for the more defensive build, known as the Black King Bar, or Lincoln Sphere, or Mentor Style. All these depends on the situation, whether you need more survivability. Otherwise, you could go for the Butterfly or Daedalus, which would allow you to have more DPS and burst, or possibly even Ethereal Blade. But anyway, we will be looking at the build that I go for today in accordance to the enemy's lineup. So without further ado, let's start the game. Player perspective. Yeah, so we will be looking at Shadow Fiend today.
30 seconds.
And you could see the trick that I did there, using the courier to move it a little forward so that I could take items a little quicker. So let's just speed up the replay a little bit.
The battle begins.
So I was trying to block creeps. Blocking creeps for Shadow Fiend is very important because you always want to keep in mind that you want to have your creeps placed on top of your ramp so that you can get more positional advantage, and I do manage to do so. So I'm gonna have a little bit of hard time going against a Bloodseeker here because Bloodseeker does have the Quelling Blade. So that is gonna be a little bit irritating for me. As you do see that I missed out on a couple of last hits, very sad. But keep in mind that you don't wanna feel very disappointed simply because you can't get any creep stats in the early game. Generally that happens to most Shadow Fiends in the early game because Shadow Fiends base attack is very low, and don't be too worried about it because after you have gotten your Shadow Razors, you should be able to catch up on last hits. So you could see that I kind of dropped a little of tower aggro there, and I clicked on my own enemy creeps on my own creeps to draw the tower aggro away. So that's another thing to learn when playing the mid lane. Get a little deny, miss a little deny there. So you could see that I actually walked up towards this side because I didn't want the creeps to enter the tower. So no problem, just tanking a little bit of the creeps. Finally getting a last hit. So in the early game, just make sure that you get your farm up and position yourself very properly because Shadow Fiend is a very easy hero to gank. Yeah, he's a very easy hero to counter kill with as well, but if you're caught in a very bad position, there's not many ways you can escape from the gang. So you could see that I didn't want to get too cocky because I was afraid someone would gang me, but if I look at the minimap wisely, all of the enemy heroes are there, so I just wanted to try to get a little dominance of the lane by raising him for a little bit. A couple of raises here and there, harass him a little bit. So the first item that I would go for here is the Boots of Speed, and then I decided that, nah, maybe not, maybe I need the bottle first. So I sold it. As we see, I'm trying to drive him off, but I lack a couple of mana to raise him for the last time to kill him. But he is already very low on HP, and I'll try my best to drive him away. As we do see, just gonna right click him for a little bit, but his poor man's shoe is actually paying dividends, which is why I didn't manage to kill him. So I decided that I should go for the bottle because I'm out of HP. Oh! Wow. That was a clutch Shadow Raise by me. Barely catching him. He got a little cocky in terms of his positioning. He didn't want to go back home, so which is why I got the first blood and solo kill on him pretty easily. And I noticed that he probably has TP'd, so I want to position myself a little behind my tower. Use the bottle charges. And again, it has hit the 4 minutes mark, and I know that the rune is at bottom because I scrolled down and saw the illusion rune at the bottom rune. So I'm just gonna nuke down the creep wave for a little bit, So I noticed that he's gonna try to trade right clicks with me, and who is gonna stand out here? Probably him, because he has the poor man shield, unless I do have a couple of razors to work with. But actually, I could get solo killed here, but we'll see how I handle the situation properly, so that I try to counter kill him as much as I can. As I do get Blood Rage, he does give me the extra attack damage to work with. So I raised him a couple of times, I missed a raise, that was pretty sad because I didn't have the vision of him. So I walked down to get my Illusion Rune, purchase the Magic Wand along with the Boots of Speed, and probably a TP. TP? No? No TP? Oh, I should have. Oh yeah, I did get a TP because Shadow Fiend is a very strong counter ganking hero with a TP because he has a lot of burst damage. So that's pretty good. You could see that I'm actually microing my illusions, which I'll show you later on. So he's trying to trade right clicks with me. So what do I do with this situation? Trade right clicks, use the portal charges, and try to survive. And I do survive. So that is pretty strong micro plays from me. Just getting a couple of portal charges to heal up before I die. So he got a little... he was a little desperate for kills, which he didn't manage to get any kills on me. So you can see that my crit stats is not as good. My crit stats is 26-3. Generally for a Shadow Fiend you wanna have yours at about 30 something at 5 minutes in the game, but because I was facing a Bloodseeker, I couldn't do much in the early game because he has Quelling Blade. Yeah, no big deal. I'll show you how to catch up in terms of farm. I'll be using my illusions to stack the jungle for a little bit. So that is one way you want to use your illusion runes. So I make a Ray Pen. So again, I could have a couple of other choices to make here. I could go for the ganking in other lanes, or I could continue farming and grab the runes in the mid lane. So I decided to go for the runes, and I do spawn out a Earthshaker, and I'm trying to pick him off, but oh my goodness, I got ruptured and fissured, so I didn't manage to get my X-rays out. Crystal Maiden joins the party, and I'm just gonna die. So that was pretty sad. I got fissured and I got ruptured, so I just died. Technically I could have used my X-rays first before using the C-rays, but I felt that my animation will still be cancelled by the fissure. So yeah, that's very sad. And I got a little cocky because there weren't any wards around and I still wanted to contest the rune. But no big deal. It's just one death. You'll see how I am able to catch up as I buy a Ring of Protection, trying to make the Ring of Basilis. TP into the lane, immediately using my Z-Rays because not much of any mana will be deducted. So just trying to catch up on farm here, get back all my souls as I can. So you could see that I actually have a lack of denies. Generally as a Shadow Fiend you want to be controlling the enemy hero, but no problem. I killed him twice, so it's all good, it's all good. Meanwhile, it's gonna hit the 8 minutes mark, so what do? I nuke the creep wave as much as I can, and wait, and ensures that I control the rune. So Dux here helps me to scout out the rune, and I noticed that the rune is at top. So I'm just gonna bottle this haste rune out before deciding where to go. So I look at the stack that I have stacked, and then I realize that oh shit, there are mud golems. So what do? I have to right click the mud golems because mud golems are spell immune. And if you haven't noticed, I've been trying to use the Sing Sing accent for quite a while. Sorry if it bothers you. Okay, I'm just gonna try to speak properly from now on. Anyway, we do see that I have returned to the mid lane, try to get my farm going. A lot of players think that Shadow Fiend should be a hero that goes ganking a lot, but sometimes you have to find the correct opportunities to gank, and don't just want to gank just because you can. Just because you have Shadow Razors doesn't mean you can gank. You have to find the correct opportunities to do it, otherwise you will just be wasting your time, because all this time could be spent on farming. And if you haven't noticed, the creep stats is very bugged. The correct creep stats that I have is 48-4, so I'm not as noob as you see here. Yeah, 48-4, 9 minutes in, not very good, but still possible, still decent. At this point, Darkseer did tell me to go bottom to counterward the counterward the observer wards here. So I do see the observer wards, and I'm gonna counterward it. So nice plays by Darkseer, trying to counterward. Anyway, I'm probably gonna make threats because I need the extra HP to survive against all these disable heavy heroes. But as our Pudge does get caught out and a Fissure does block him out, and I'm not gonna save him. He's trying to suicide, it's not gonna make it, and I do get blocked. And then that's about it. And I noticed that it's 10 minutes rune, gonna control the rune. And also, I do get my threats. As Darkseer tries to counterward, but not gonna get anything out of it. So anyway, I'm gonna teach you something more in-depth about Shadow Fiend, which is your positioning in the mid-game phase. Where should you position yourself? Where should you be looking at on the minimap? Where should you be cautious? Where should you be concerned? So a nice hook does catch SA, but SA does manage to get out. I'm gonna teach you how to play this hero, because most PUBG players get very cocky in terms of their positioning. They just kind of farm all over the map, but they don't they don't position themselves well enough, and they keep getting caught and caught and caught, and they die a lot of times, I feel. That happens to me from time to time because I get very lazy in terms of looking at the minimap. But in this game, I'm gonna show you how to play like a boss. How do I look at the minimap closely? How do I farm myself to have very luxurious items? And you can see that our early game is not going as well. The opponent has 4 kills, but we have 2 kills. I could have TP'd down there to aid my team, but I felt that I wasn't confident enough to kill all of them, so what do? I'm gonna get the mid tower. And at this point, I could go for 2 items. The first item being BKB, the second item being the Shadow Blade. So I was still deciding whether to get the BKB or the Shadow Blade, so I'm saving a little bit of gold here because I care for the 12 minutes rune. So I do quick buy the Shadow Blade, and turns out that it's bottom rune, haste rune, so I'm gonna control the rune first before I decide on what to do. So you can see that my creep stats is about 6 a minute. Yeah, it's about, is it 6 a minute? Yeah, it's 6 a minute. So if it is 6 a minute, that's not very good, because for a Shadow Fiend you want your creep stats to be about 7 or 8 a minute. But we'll see how I catch up to 7 and 8 a minute later on in the game. And you could see that I switched my threats to intelligence before I start raising, because that would conserve a lot of mana, and turning it back to strength threats. And then I realized, oh shit, there are a couple of enemy heroes here, so I'm trying to turn back and raise, but I get silenced. Hook misses, try to TP out, Beastmaster Raw, and then Rage Buyout because it's a PUBG game and I'm not playing serious, because generally if you get killed like that and Rage Buyout without a TP scroll, that's very embarrassing because you can't join back your team as fast as possible. But whatever, this is a PUBG game and I got a little cocky, just want to play the game that I want to play. So I'll just Rage Buyout, like an idiot. Now I kinda look stupid, but no big deal. This guy trying to hook Bloodseeker, a hook doesn't catch it, but I'm here for cleanup duty. A C raise does catch the, or rather X raise does catch the Crystal Maiden. So there was a kill, and then all of us decided to push the bottom lane. And then Pudge is trying to look for a hook. Does hook the Bloodseeker, holy crap, that was like some legit white man hook. So not an Asian hook because it's not as short as you see, but you know, it's all good, it's all good. Anyway, it's gonna hit the 14 minutes mark, so I'm just trying to look out for that rune. Anyway, I do spot out that the Duxia is gonna get cleared. I definitely could have TP'd, but I felt that I want to let Duxia die so that he realizes how stupid he is because he has a score of 0, 2, and 1. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I could have TP'd there to save him, but I was hesitating to TP, so... generally as a Shadow Fiend, you shouldn't hesitate because... generally if I had TP'd there, I could have gotten a kill, but... You know, hesitating, procrastinating, all this kind of comes into play as I try to raise golems, and then I realize, oh shit, 2 raises doesn't clear anything, or there must have been golems, so it's all good, it's all good. As I see a free birdie, it's gonna kill the birdie. The birdie just died immediately in 1 hit, because I believe it's a level 2 birdie. Birdie is very poor, just died. So somebody call... nothing, no, nothing. Anyway, we do see I bottled the illusion roots. Anyway, I do spawn out 3 enemy heroes, TP in, and a nice vacuum catches all of them. And what do? Try to use my ultimate, but it gets cancelled, so I ulti all of them, and I raise, and a flame break by Bat Rider does clear all of them. So we're gonna get 4 for 2 in exchange, and I'm gonna clear the this guy up. Does manage to do so. Bat Rider gets a triple kill. That should have been my triple kill, but no big deal, no big deal. He used his flame break to clear all of them, so it's all good, it's all good. As long as we get kills, it's all good. But if you could have given me the kills there, I could have gotten my items quicker, but no big deal. It's all good, it's all good. Anyway, I could see that I had a very good position there because Duxia vacuumed there into our tower range, and then I used my ultimate. So as we see that SATP, so I cancelled my raise as there was no way of killing him. Anyway, I should try to finish this this video as soon as possible because... oh, do we see the SA there? I should try to finish this video as soon as possible because I haven't ate lunch and it's about 1 AM, sorry, not 1 AM, 1 PM, and I haven't eaten breakfast or have I eaten lunch, so I'm very hungry. But I'll try to finish this video before I think of food. Anyway, just gonna try to check out the rune and take a little time to drink a little bit of water because the haze is still really bad here. As you do see a team fight breaking out, and I'm not gonna TP because I don't have enough mana anyways. Well, actually I could have TP, but again, it's one of those hesitating plays, and I finally TP after getting the Invis rune. And you could see the little trick, which is I use the Invis rune first, and then bottle up once, and then use the TP, and the Invis rune is still under effect. So as we do try to clear the Bloodseeker, and hook. Wow, holy crap, that was like one of the nicest hooks that I've seen. So my TP was in vain because I didn't manage to do anything or contribute anything, because my TP was a little late, but all I wanted to do was try to get the Invis rune. So that's kinda sad, but as I finally do get my Shadow Blade, with this item, what I want to do is try to get a couple of solo kills and then try to split push towers. Which, by the way, my Shadow Fiend plays are inspired by Yamate, HY, Yafet's PIS. So I kind of learned a couple of moves from them, like how to play this hero. So as I do try to kill the Beastmaster, but he backs off smartly, otherwise he would have died there. So that's that. And then I realized that we don't have any wards, so I don't even know if this is a very high level Sudanese agent game anymore. But no big deal. Later on in the game you'll see a couple of wards being placed. So I do spot out that that the bottom lane has a lot of farm. So I'm gonna go there to try to farm my BKB. And before I do that, I'm just gonna go for the rune. So you could see that my creep stats are still kept at 6 a minute. Not the most impressive farm, but I'll show you how to catch up in terms of farm. So you could see that I switched my threats to intelligence before I raise, switch it back to strength threats in case they gang me, in case of heroes like stealth assassin gangs me. But which by the way, I'm gonna point out another player that doesn't switch his threats. His name is Mushi. So I mean, if you don't want to have all these calculative plays, it's fine by me. And then I realized that there are a lot of heroes missing and I'm gonna try to back off, but you know what? It's gonna be too late because 3 heroes are gonna wrap around me and I try to sell my magic wand because I want to deliver the Ogre Club, but I'm gonna die as they have dust. That was very sad. You could call it poor bad awareness on my part, but I realized that all the enemy heroes are gone and I was really trying to back off to get a TP scroll, but you know, there weren't any wards. I got a little cocky, I just wanted to farm. So, no big deal, no big deal. But that death timing would have eaten a lot of my farm time, I feel. So, no problem. I'll just try to up my BKB by the 25 minutes mark, which is not as good, but I'll try. So you do see the hook, hooking on your own teammate. Not sure if that's good at all. Anyway, just gonna look at GPM. Obviously I'm topping the charts because I'm Shadow Fiend. Kills, not as good. Last hits, 131. So I do get the Ogre Club finally, after selling my magic wand. So I do have 18 souls, just gonna go to the NC for a little bit to try to gather some souls. So another thing that you want to keep in mind is that your positioning. So you could see that if I position myself wrongly then I would have gotten caught. So yeah, you gotta be very cautious. And we do see DotA getting caught out. Just gonna die. And we're trying to help him, but it's too late. So yeah, Shadow Fiend, you wanna ensure that you play very cautiously. As Fudge tries to TP out, but he's just gonna drop. And I decided that I'm not gonna go in because I have no souls and I don't have any BKB. As all of them melts, even the Echo Slam drop for that. So I do see the Sentry Ward here. I'm just gonna devour it because it's too close into the tower range. And when I notice that all of the enemy heroes are gonna push the mid lane, what do? I'm gonna go to the bottom lane to push and pull out the Haze Rune first. So if you realize that you can't actually defend a tower, just simply go to other lanes to push and try to get more farm going on, because that is the only way you can mitigate the situation. Standing by your tower is not gonna do shit. So that's what I feel a lot of players don't know how to control, I feel. So I noticed that all of them are gonna hit bottom and I'm just gonna back the hell off. TP out, TP out. Am I gonna make it? Yeah, I'm gonna make it barely. Because if you notice on the minimap, Crystal Maiden nearly got the range to frostbite me. So that was actually living life on the edge. Yeah, that was actually a very bad place if you think about it, but no big deal, no big deal. As I do manage to escape anyways, so just gonna farm the NC for a little bit, catch up on my farm, get my BKB before I try to do anything stupid. And rest assured that I will show you a couple of nice moves that I did. Some PIS-esque plays, some Yuffets-esque plays going on later on. So yeah, it's all good. I mean, most players think that Shadow Fiend is a very easy hero to control, simply because you could just pop the BKB and press R and like go and drink coffee and then see yourself getting a rampage. But I'm here to tell that it's not that easy, because you have to keep calm and you have to how do I phrase this? Find the correct positioning to pop your BKB, find the correct moment to pop your BKB because of the new BKB nerf. If it hits to 4 seconds, you have to be very wise with your BKB usage. So that's that. But I mean, yeah, we'll see the kind of Yapis-esque plays going on later on. But I mean, I don't deny that Shadow Fiend from time to time is a little easy hero to play because you just farm all over the map. But another thing you gotta keep in mind is that the correct time to farm, the correct time to counter gank, the correct time to get runes, the correct time to push out lanes, the correct time to participate in team fights, the correct time to be in certain parts of the map so that you don't get caught out. So these are all the factors that you have to keep in mind to be a good Shadow Fiend player. But so it's not as easy as most players think. So you do see that I have my BKB, but I'm caught without a TP scroll. Very bad mistake. So I do get the TP scroll immediately. So I do buy the BKB. Just continue farming at this point because it's a stalemate and no team fight is gonna break out. So I'm gonna walk over to the courier to take my BKB. So BKB in 25 minutes, not the most impressive thing in the world, but as I do spot out the Bloodseeker, and I notice that the Earthshaker is around the corner, but you know what, I'm gonna man up and try to solo kill this guy, walks a little bit in front of him, pops the Requiem also, as he's just gonna walk straight and he's gonna take a point blank Requiem, and I do see the Earthshaker coming in, and what you gonna do about it, son? I'm just gonna kill you as well. So just gonna take a water charge and then TP out. Anyway, you could see my reaction timing there was that the moment I spotted out the Earthshaker, I popped my BKB because I didn't want to get stunned, and I was trying to counter kill him as well. So that is a very calm place from me, as he actually walked up into melee range to try to get his enchant totem off, but I popped my BKB, used the Z-rays, right click him, X-rays, C-rays, and cleared him up very easily. So not sure if that was some Yapits-esque plays, but yeah, it's all good. So we do see when farming the ancient camp, I use my agility threats, but anyways, we do establish a certain level of map control as the towers are pretty much even at this point, except the bottom tower. We have one more tower than them, so I do tell my teammates that we have to get the Roshan as soon as possible because we are dire and we have the positional advantage to do it. But in order to do that, we definitely need the gem because there is SA and yeah, there's SA, and we don't want any fancy shenanigans of him stealing our Aegis. So at this point, we are just gonna play very cautiously. As you could see, very Chinese positioning. Everybody's around the jungle, leaving me the map to farm. Yeah, it's pretty much a stalemate at this point. This is like one of those professional games, like LGD China versus Orange. I'm kidding. I'm just trying to act as if this level of game is similar to theirs. But I mean, it's a very high level pop game, so it's all good. Anyways, the next item that I should be going for here is probably a DPS item, Mentor Style or Butterfly or Daedalus. All these are several items that I could consider. So I do see a huge bulk of creep wave, just gonna TP top to defend it, and also farm a little bit more because my creep stats are not as good. 208 in 28 minutes, and then I realized, oh shoot, there's a team fight breaking out. So what do? I am gonna try to participate, and then I realized, oh, SA is also going there as well. So I tapped my teammates, be careful as SA is around the corner, and I'm telling the Darkseer to get up, but he's too late. He's just gonna die as well. So I do go in, BKB ultimate, not gonna do much, but just gonna provide a slow to kill him, as I do get a blind kill on SA. Anyways, I do Shadow Blade myself in to try to clear the Crystal Maiden. Not gonna do anything much, but we're just gonna get a tower. So that was a little bit awkward place, I wanna say, because I TP'd to the top lane, and then I realized that SA was gonna back, and then and then a team fight just broke out. So I mean, it's all good, 3-for-1 exchange, but you know, I wasn't able to make it there in time, but I do manage to get a kill on SA, and also because it was a blind kill, so it's all good. I was happy that I could kill him blind. Anyways, we do see the Warlock picking up the gem, so could scout out the SA a little more easily. There is no need to place any more sentry wards. Do see the DD rune, as I tell my teammates that we should get a Roshan, Getting Roshan is very crucial in this game because it could determine the outcome of the team fight. So I do try to raise the dragons, which by the way you can raise dragons, but the small dragons only. So yeah. So I believe that the next item I'm gonna go for here is the butterfly, because there are a couple of DPS heroes like Bloodseeker, SA. So in order to mitigate that, I'm just gonna get a couple of evasion to deal with their right clicks. Another item that I could go for here is the MKB, because there is a stealth assassin, and after my BKB runs out, I could attack in smoke screen, but that's being a little far-fetched because my BKB is still on the 8 seconds mark. It has not hit the 4 seconds yet. So as all of my team catches the SA did get a little cocky in terms of farming for his items. As you could see, his team are all positioned around the jungle except for him. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I do stockpile 4.3k gold in the bank, and I do see the regen rune. I would definitely favor the regen rune over the DD rune as my mana is very low. So just gonna use the DD rune first, and just gonna use a couple of razors to clear the creep wave. Not sure what to talk about at this point. Again, you want to keep in mind that you've used all of the resources of the map, because in the long run you would outfarm your opponents that way. And I noticed that there are a couple of enemy heroes appearing on the map, which is why I could farm at this part of the map, and it would be less easy for me to get ganked. But after which, I'm gonna play very safe, as all of my teammates are all grouped up. Some Chinese team play going on. Just gonna be very cautious, very safe. Just gonna farm the enemy. I'm just gonna farm the ancient for a little bit, and then before getting the Roshan. So, and then here I was telling my teammates we shouldn't get the Roshan because it would be very suspicious, as all of us are missing from the map for quite a long period of time. And then I sell my Ring of Aquila for the Eagle Song. And then the Warlock appears from deboarding. Water up the DD rune as we try to go for a huge smoke gang. All of them are around here except the Stealth Assassin. But Stealth Assassin finally is still there. No big deal. We're just gonna mow down the tower. As Warlock has the gem, he's just gonna counter ward for quite a bit. Couple of razors. So at this point, we're just gonna mount the tower before getting the Roshan, as we are gonna play like super Chinese, super safe, as this game is pretty much even at this point, as the kills is like 19 and 18, very close. But the Bat Rider is gonna jump in soon, as you could see he's positioned himself at that part of the map, and then he realized that all of them are very good in their positioning, so we're just not even gonna attempt to kill them, and we're just gonna get Roshan as we have wards up. So the next thing I tell my teammates when we get the Roshan is that we have to ensure that we don't clump up like this. We have to make sure that Warlock stands outside, Bat Rider stands at another angle, because there is a possibility that the enemy team could smoke up and then run to the Rosh Pit and then has a Blink Echo Slam and clears each of us. As you could see, they literally didn't go for the Smoke of Deceit, but it was too late for them. So what I predicted was correct. This is like some legit high level plays here. All of them did go for the Smoke of Deceit, but it was too late, so yeah, what I predicted was correct. This is the pub game at its highest level here, so as you can see, my farm is 267 at 34 minutes in. That's about 7 a minute. A little bit closer to 8 a minute, but no big deal. This amount of farm is sufficient for a game like this because it's very stalemate, and it isn't a very pub stompy game as well. So you do see a hook catching the Earthshaker as I do try to burst him down, pop the BKB, go for ultimate here. As I know that Phoenix is gonna die, I'm just gonna chase the Crystal Maiden and fall for 1 exchange here. As we do see the SA, and I'm gonna kill the SA as well, as I'm chasing the SA. So just gonna right click him for a little bit. Flame Break does bring him back, so very nice place from Bat Rider. Sea Race doesn't quite kill him, a vacuum does kill him. Anyways, that was very nice plays from Pudge, catching the most crucial hero in this case, Earthshaker. So by hooking the Earthshaker, it ensures that he doesn't get his Blink Echo off. So I immediately pop my BKB, understands that the team fight is gonna break out, and then go for the Requiem by walking up for a little bit here. And then my Requiem did clear a couple of enemy heroes, so that was pretty good. So we're just gonna play like Chinese here, not gonna throw the game, gonna get a barracks and then swing down bottom lane to get their Rex as well. So keep in mind that we actually haven't won the game yet. We only have the advantage here. It's still possible for us to lose the game if mistakes like this go on. Bat Rider running in like an idiot and then throwing the game. So you could see that the kills are still very even at this point, but we'll take a look at the goal graph. So you could see that for most of the part we actually have the goal advantage because I have been farming all over the map, and because SF is a hero that can take a lot of farm very easily by spamming his razors, so you could see that there's a dive down in terms of the goal graph. So I do stockpile 5.2k gold in the bank. I'm deciding whether to go for the rapier here because I have the Aegis, and then I realized that the Aegis is gonna time out pretty soon, so it's gonna be reclaimed in 3 minutes. So probably not gonna go for the Divine unless I'm very confident. But going for the Divine at this point would just receive flames from your teammate. Your teammates will be like, oh, what if you drop the Divine? Oh, what if you are this, or what if you are that? But I do what I want. I do what I'm most confident with when playing Shadow Fiend. As you do see that the Warlock does scare away the SA by dropping a Fatal Bonds, which didn't allow my what should we call it, my Requiem of Souls to hit enough to hit the Stealth Assassin point blank, but we still managed to kill him anyways, no big deal. So I do have 6.3k gold in the bank. Does SA have buyback, by the way? Let's check buyback status. Oh, SA doesn't have buyback. That's pretty much game, I feel. Anyway, just gonna go for the Divine because I can. So I do get ruptured here, and I'm not gonna pop my BKB because I'm gonna wait for my Aegis to be used before popping my BKB, as I do survive the first initial barrage of damage, and then realize that oh, Earthshaker is here, so he's just gonna die. Wicked Sick. As indeed I do get the Divine. Still kinda hesitating whether to get the Divine. I should just bloody hell get the Divine at this point. Yeah, Divine. So yeah, we're just gonna get 2 barracks and wait for the enemy team to call GG at this point. Feel that this is pretty much the game. Anyways, tell me what you guys think about this commentary, or rather a guide, analysis, whatever you call it. Whether you enjoyed it, whether you felt that it was good, whether you felt that it was bad. You know, just try to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more of this tutorial videos coming up.
Radiant's
So
middle tower has fallen.
we do try to end them as soon as possible.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under
Yeah, that's pretty much the game. Tell me what you guys think. Please, please, please remember to leave a comment. Remember to subscribe if you liked. So you could see that I was trying to do some shameless advertisements here. Very shameless of me to do that. And Beastmaster is like, lol, WTF. But yeah. Oh, the pudges, the butchers dismember is very annoying. Can we just pause? Yeah. Oh, that's way more quiet. Anyway, I do have a GPM of 701, not the most impressive. So in terms of farm, I would say I did fairly okay. Not the best farm in the world, but I mean, from time to time, I do see in professional games, the Shadow Fiend do get their creep stats at about 10 a minute, which is pretty ridiculous, but I mean, for a pub game, 336 in 39 minutes should be okay. Sorry, should be okay. So, yeah, leave a comment, tell me what you guys think, and yeah, this is Newer DotA saying see you next time.